Hello everyone, welcome to EULAR TV once again. I'm very fascinated that we have Professor Annette Helm with us, and we will be asking about this year's recommendation session. And there is basically a very novel thing, risk stratification, patient with arthralgia who is going to progress to rheumatoid arthritis. I'm sure you're fascinated to present that. I just wanted to take this opportunity to ask you, how did you find it challenging to organize this recommendation?
Yes, thank you for this question. So actually I'm very proud to present a EULAR ACR risk stratification criteria for people with arthralgia at risk for RA. So I think it's slightly different from the general recommendations you will hear also in this session, because they are mostly based on literature review, and we found that we really need to combine the data from cohorts itself to arrive at validated risk stratification criteria, which are also provide information about the best combination of predictors. So the challenging thing was that we had to have the cohorts sharing their previous data for this important task force. So we were very proud that people shared the data and that we could do the work. So, and I will be happy to present the results in this session.
Perfect. It's a mammoth task, obviously. I mean, there are a lot of stakeholder, and obviously there are a lot of data you had to analyze. So in terms of using these recommendations, obviously we are talking about something which is patients with clinical arthralgia who will progress to rheumatoid arthritis. They're not yet rheumatoid arthritis. You can level them as. In terms of using them in clinical practice, how is it going to impact our?
Yeah, it's a good question, also an important one, because these risk stratification criteria are actually made for groups of patients, and the primary aim was to support the inclusion of homogeneous risk groups in future trials. So they were not intended actually to support the decision-making for individual patients in daily care. It's more or less similar to the classification criteria. So these are meant for diseases. They are derived to support homogeneous groups of patients into trials, and actually we had the same aim, but now in the stage of arthralgia at risk for RA. And I think EULAR and also ACR found it very important to stress that having a risk for disease is not similar to us having a disease. So therefore it's called risk stratification criteria.
Sure. And then let me ask you one thing. Like, I know that there are people been using biologics and DMARDs in early rheumatoid arthritis. So does this classification mean that it will be like an opportunity for us to intervene early disease and stop the progression?
Well, actually, it is in the long term. I think very recently we have seen the results of several trials that were performed in patients with arthralgia at risk for RA. We have seen the effects, and I think this will open a new treatment era, but we are not there yet. So we should do novel trials to find the best treatment strategy, and then we need to include homogeneous risk patients, really those that really get the disease, for instance, with a high risk, and therefore we need this stratification criteria. So in the end, I think the first step is to do novel trials to find the best treatment strategy for the certain type of patients, and then later on we can impact clinical care.
Fantastic. And what does it mean for our patient? Does it mean like they will get access to the medications earlier than they're hoping to?
In the end,
it's a
perhaps.
Tricky question.
Yeah, in the end. So I think this is really a big thing. Of course, if we can prevent the disease or have secondary prevention, it would be most optimal scenario. But that is, I think, still ahead. So we go one step at a time. And this is an important step, because now we can homogeneously define the risk for groups of patients. Then we can do better trials. And in the end, I think we hope to have more people that we can identify very early, intervene earlier, and either prevent the disease or prevent disease burden. So that's the ultimate aim.
Oh, thank you.
But I cannot solve it all in the same
Absolutely. And thanks for being with us. We are all looking forward to the recommendation and hope everyone will enjoy. Thank you.